Hello and welcome to Tech with Heart. I am your host, Michelle Calloway. Tech with Heart, it's all about empowering and enlightening small business owners to embrace technologies and systems and strategies that'll help them stay competitive and relevant, especially in today's rapidly changing digital business landscape. And today's topic is a very important one. It's called search engine optimization. We're going to talk about simple and local tips for SEO. That means how can you get discovered in your local area as the expert that you are? And so with us today, we have the marketing team from Main Street Marketing, and they're Sydnee Stevenson and Chris Sheppard. They are both digital marketing experts, and they both have a passion to make sure that small business owners do get the relevance and also can indeed do this for their own business, or maybe they might be a good resource for you to reach out to get a better SEO strategy for your business. So welcome to the Tech with Heart stage. Let's just go ahead and just welcome Sydnee first. Hello, Sydnee.
Hello. So happy to be here.
Thank you. And then let's also welcome Chris.
All right. Hey, guys. Thank you. I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Oh, we're happy to have you here because, we just always want to continue to empower small business owners. So let's go ahead and start with what is the significance, Chris, of SEO for small and especially local small businesses?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's one of the questions we get asked quite often is why local SEO, as we call it in the digital world. And so local SEO really has to do with local search terms and relevance. So if you have a service-based business or a local product or a local retail, oftentimes folks are looking for that online on Google search engine or Bing, and they're searching for terms like near me or in a town. So if you have a service, let's just say you have a carpet cleaning company, a lot of times carpet cleaning near me or carpet cleaning in XYZ town or city, folks are searching for that. And so you want to be prevalent and relevant in the search query and be at the top. So a good way to do that is to focus on Google Business Profile or some of the local business directories to be able to catapult yourself to the top to be found. And so the difference there is obviously the local search intent versus, let's just say, I'm searching for a computer or something where it could be anywhere in the world that you would buy a computer from, if that helps.
Well, it does in the sense that, when you're thinking of SEO, which stands for search engine optimization, you do need to be kind of trying to think more like how does Google find things and then feed people that information. And it's not just a Google thing, it's a search engine thing. It's just Google happens to be the biggest dogs. So yeah, that makes sense. Now, I don't know if you're going to go into any of the tactics regarding local SEO, like is that something you want to talk about now, or did you want to talk about that in the content strategy session?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that most folks, if you have a business, it's pretty easy to get going with local SEO, especially on your own. And one way to do that, and we work a lot with Google, particularly because it is one of the leading search engines, but also a lot of other search engines kind of follow suit and how Google does things. And so for optimizing for Google, we're typically optimizing for Bing and other search engines as well. And so one way to get started pretty quick is just to go and get your Google Business Profile. And if you don't already have one, it's pretty simple to do. You just go search Google Business Profile in Google, and there you can find out how to get one. Essentially, it's your listing in Google. You'll verify your business. They usually will send a postcard to your address to make sure that you are an actual business and to verify that business. There you can start filling out your description and all sorts of great things. I mean, you could fill out your services, questions and answers, those types of things. You can start getting reviews for your business there. That's one great way just to start getting going with local SEO, because again, that's kind of Google's way to even determine if you're a business or not, and how they would know about you. Another great way is to go out in some of these citations or business directories that you might already know, like Yelp, for instance. There's Yellow Pages, Hot Frog, Brown Book. I mean, all these different business directories that you could go out and actually do the same that you did with Google, and that's list your business, get verified, put your website address in there. That's actually creating relevance for your business and for Google to see that you're out there in other areas, not just in Google. And that's a great way to start local SEO.
Those are so really great tips. Thank you so much. And I also know that there's profiles on LinkedIn and profiles.
Absolutely.
Alignable is actually a really targeted, like very local supporting small business network, similar to LinkedIn, but much smaller and more intimate. And so it's a really great way to get yourself recognized as the expert in your area as well. So great tips. So let's move on a little bit more. So a lot of the content marketing that businesses need to do also aid in SEO. So what can you speak to that, Sydnee, regarding how businesses can create more authority online around their brand or their business through content marketing?
Yeah, so I think a lot of the terms that we use in this industry to talk about content marketing and authority are a little bit foreign to the layperson, and so they can sound a little bit intimidating. So what I really want people to think about and understand is that content marketing really is just about communicating what your business is about and essentially establishing your business as the online expert in that topic. So I'm sure we all know different people. Maybe you know an accountant or you know a lawyer, and you know that they know a lot about the specific industry that they work in. And so if you ever had a question about that topic, you'd go to them. Content marketing is essentially the digital version of doing the same thing. So when you're getting started with content marketing, one of the really important things to think about is what kinds of questions do people ask about your business type, your industry? For example, my dad owns a drywall repair and installation company. So things that people might ask about that, how to patch a hole in drywall, what are the different types of drywall, and what are the best ones for certain applications? So really think about, and you've probably as a business owner gotten these questions before. And if you need a little bit more help with it, you can always just you can even type in a question about your industry in Google, and then you'll see a little box that pops up with a drop down of people also ask. And that's another great way to find questions that people are asking about your business. And the more that you can answer those questions on your website, whether it's through FAQs or blog articles or whatever you want it to be, the more you are establishing yourself in the eyes of Google and in the eyes of your target customer as the authority in that space. And the more that you can do that, the more Google is going to direct traffic to your website over someone else's when someone's searching for something related to your business.
Well, so okay, that was phenomenal. So thank you so much, because you kind of painted a big picture here. So when it comes to the types of content you wrote, you mentioned blogs and you mentioned FAQs. Fantastic. Sometimes even does social posts help at all drive, like did you know type posts, like did you know this, or would you recommend social media as a strong driving traffic generator to websites?
That's an awesome question, and one that we actually get a lot. Here's what I would say on it. Does having a profile on a social platform like Facebook, like Instagram, like LinkedIn sort of help build your presence online? Yes. Is it going to directly influence your authority on Google and your rankings? Not quite. And the reason for that is everything that you post within that platform, Google can index it. And when I say index, that means Google can find that information and it can rank it in its search results too. But I would say when you're thinking about your own authority on Google, it's really going to be based on your website, your Google business profile, and some of those other citations and directories like Yelp, Yellow Pages that Chris mentioned before. I would really focus on those. And then depending on the industry that you're in, social media can be a great way to supplement that, but I wouldn't necessarily give a blanket recommendation for all small businesses, because it really can depend on who your target audience is and how do they typically go about finding businesses like yours, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely it does, because there are certain businesses that are filling instant needs, like plumbers, right? Like, oh, I have my pipes are spraying everywhere. I need a plumber like now. And then there are business coaches, right? People who are looking to influence people to want to come hire them versus their competitors. It's not a burning hot need. So I feel like social media is like you mentioned the word supplementation. I love that word, because you definitely need to know that your website is your home base. That's the kind of content that you can control, and Google will index it or crawl it. It'll regularly go and find new content there and then match it with what people are searching for. So that's brilliant. Let's talk a little bit more about what you can do on your Google business profile that Chris mentioned earlier when in regard to content marketing to capitalize even more, because Google business profiles are ding, ding, ding owned by Google. So they're going to crawl that first and foremost. They love it when you put data, content, images, videos. Can you speak to like what is a good strategy plan for continuing to build out your Google business profile?
Yeah, you're exactly right, Michelle. Google business profile is Google's baby, if you will. And so, yes, it absolutely will crawl and sort of prioritize that over a lot of other places that you could be listed on the web. So really, I think the biggest mistake that I personally have seen business owners make is just not utilizing their profile enough. They might set it up, they might claim it, it'll have, maybe their business name and a phone number. But there's so much else that you can do with a Google business profile. And, once you set it up and, start editing, you'll see you can add your services and you can add descriptions for those services. You can add a description and really speak to what your business is about and the services that you offer. You can even add products, and for some kinds of businesses, you can use that products feature to talk about your services. So you could have a separate product tile for, going back to the example of my dad's drywall business. You could have a product for a drywall installation, drywall repair, nail pop repair, whatever is specific to your business. But really, I would say the more information that you give to Google on that profile, the better off you'll be, not only in terms of your ranking, but also in terms of how many people convert from that Google business profile. Because I can say from just my personal experience as a consumer, I've been searching for a specific kind of business and I'll get to their profile and it doesn't tell me their hours. It doesn't link to a website. And there's so many things missing that it's hard to really, as a consumer, even know like where to go next to find out, am I interested in actually going to this business or working with these people, and how do I get in contact with them? The list goes on. So I would really say fill out as much information as you possibly can, as if you are introducing your business to someone who knows absolutely nothing about it, because that really is going to be the majority of people that land on it. And then besides that, another great thing that you can do is there are also FAQs. So that's another place where you can sort of put those questions that, we talked a little bit about earlier. Frequently asked questions that you get about either your business and how you work or your industry, common things that people ask. You can add those in there too. And that is starting to be a bigger and bigger ranking signal to Google for, how they rank and prioritize listings and maps.
Being able to do business online is crucial for survival, especially during times of social distancing. So how do you survive and thrive in the sea of digital noise? It's a lot like fishing. You need to know who your perfect customer is so that you can use the right kind of lure to attract them. We help you catch your perfect customer and retain them for future sales through highly converting websites, influencer mobile apps, getting you featured in the news and on TV. Hi, my name is Jerry Bowden, U.S. Army veteran and president of Revealio Software Solutions. Our goal is to help you rise above the competition, be seen as an expert authority in your industry, and embrace technology to stay competitive for long-term success. It's more affordable than you may think. So reach out to us at revealio.com and together we will make your business come alive.
Fun. So the other thing I noticed about Google is that if you put images up regularly, especially if you can just capture pictures of customers coming in and walking out satisfied, just ask them if it's okay if that you capture a picture of them, or ask them to leave that review. Chris mentioned that earlier, that they love that, and that'll just help you shine even more. So let's just say somebody's within a radius of like 5 miles of your business and they just happen to need somebody that does exactly what you do. You'll automatically pop up by proximity, but you want to shine above and beyond the others that are also within that proximity. And so those are just some great things. And any blogs that you create on your website, you can post those on your Google business profile as well. Any other tips on content marketing there, Sydnee?
Other tips? Let's see. I guess my closing words on that will be really just when it comes to your content marketing, don't overthink it. Just think about how would you explain your business to someone who knows absolutely nothing about it. I think one of the biggest mistakes that I see that businesses make in terms of their website and just how they present themselves online is they assume that Google and their end customer knows a lot more about their business than they really do. And so you'll see businesses that have a website, but it really only just has their business name, maybe a logo, and then their address and phone number. And really, yes, you do have a digital home base at that point, but you really want to think about, if your business offers 10 different services, create a page on your website for each of those services and really go into detail about, what does the service include? How do we provide it? So on and so forth, really as if you are explaining your business to someone who doesn't know anything about you. And another thing you can do is just, getting really into detail about, if you're a service area business, what areas do you serve? So on and so forth. So really just going back to the basics and thinking about how can I communicate more as opposed to less about what my business is about, what I do, who I do it for, and what area I serve, I think is a really good place to start when you're thinking about content marketing.
Well, I know small business owners are very busy, but if you had a priority list, this would be very, 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 very high on the priority list, especially we keep mentioning, if you're a local business where people will use their phones to go and search for a particular expert in any field, you want to be the one that gets, shows up in the first top 3 just based on even proximity. So set yourself apart and give people more information than they need, and they'll think that you're obviously more of a legitimate business if there's more data there. So that's a great tip. So I'm going to move on now from that's all organic. This is all organic SEO. These are things that you can do as a small business owner for free. But now we're going to move and just have a brief discussion about Google Ads, because that is like maximum SEO, but it's also something you have to pay for. And then if you're not knowledgeable on how to do it, it could really drain your bank very fast. So we're going to move quickly over and ask Chris to tell us a little bit more about how can small business owners know if Google Ads is a good fit for their business?
Well, I would say that if Google Ads is a good fit for your business, if you have somebody looking for, if you're a local business, for your service or your offering or your product, and that's one easy, surefire way to get in front of them fast. Unlike SEO, like we talked about previous, Google Ads is pretty instant. So if we build Google Ads today, the chances tomorrow of them showing up when somebody searches are going to be up there pretty high, unlike SEO, where it could take a few months to start showing up. So Google Ads is commonly known as pay-per-click advertising. And so that means that you will build ads on Google, and you'll show keywords that you want to your ad to show for, and then you'll be charged every time you get a click for that keyword. And to your point, yes, it can add up very quick if you're not careful in how you build your ads and your campaigns. For instance, you could go, depending on your industry, you could get $20, $30 clicks, as opposed to some industries might have 80, 90-cent clicks. And so it's a wide gamut of how much you could spend. And of course, too, you're competing against your competitors too. So if the industry is very competitive, the cost per click can go up. So you could see why you might want to be careful and really start understanding how to do these things. But The great thing about Google Ads, again, is that you can get in front of your prospect super quick. But the other part is that if you stack it with SEO, and like we talked about before, local SEO and content marketing, now if somebody searches for your business or your service, and you have an opportunity to show up on page one 3 different times, one with a Google ad, another with local SEO, which might be your Google business profile or showing up in that map pack, if you will, at the top of the page. And then the other is your organic listing with just normal SEO with just your website. And so now you really have a chance to drive authority there because you're showing up more than once. So at that point, it's kind of a numbers game. If you're showing up 2 or 3 times on page one, chances are you're going to get clicked on. And so Google Ads is just a great way to get going fast and it's just another kind of tool in the toolbox of digital marketing.
It's like an accelerator, essentially, right? Because you definitely must do the other things. I mean, Google Business Profile, in my opinion, is a must. Anybody that wants to be taken seriously needs to be showing up well on Google. That's a great way to make sure that happens, because just having a website it's great too. That's your home base, but it's like essentially Google saying, here's like a little mini version of that website for free, and we'll rank it very high. So definitely recommend that. Thank you. I personally would recommend anybody that's tuning in right now, if you've never done Google Ads, reach out to Chris. I mean, don't necessarily try to take this on your own. I know small business owners are really wearing so many hats. And when it comes to spending advertising dollars, you're going to want to make sure you're getting the best bang for your buck. And so there's all this like optimization and all these things that somebody like Chris has been trained in. And so he'll make sure that you're spending your money wisely to get the most for your dollar. Because otherwise, even with like Facebook ads, if you don't really know what you're doing, you could just burn through your money. And I know that's not probably what you're looking to do. So I recommend you reach out to Chris. You share with us, first and foremost, how can people reach out to you if they are interested in getting a free business consultation or marketing or SEO consultation?
Yeah, absolutely. So you're always welcome to go to our website at wearemainstreet.com to check us out. And we've got everything from all of our services to case studies to content marketing, blogs, a bunch of interesting things there you can read and learn about us. And then actually, we have some tips and tricks that you can take back and utilize too if you need to. But one great way we have a contact form there, which will help get you a free strategy call. We'd love to just get on a call with business owners and talk strategy, learn about you. We can pretty quickly just be able to tell you some things that you could do on your own to get going. And of course, if you need more help, we're always happy to assist there too. So wearemainstreet.com. And then we have an email address. It's just hello@wearemainstreet.com, and that'll go directly to Sydnee and I, and we could reach out to you and have a conversation via the email as well.
So you heard, it's an opportunity to pick their brains and have them give you some insights as to what a good marketing strategy for you for SEO for free. I would take advantage of it if I were you. Sydnee, what would you want to leave impressed upon those that are tuning in right now? What's a thought or phrase that you could just leave with them to help them feel confident in moving forward with SEO?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I want business owners to take away from this conversation is that SEO is not complicated. And I know in light of everything that we just talked about, it might seem that way, but I think when you really take away the buzzwords and you take away all the industry jargon, it really is just, like I said before, telling Google what your business is about. It really is that simple. And obviously there are a lot of, techniques and tactics that you can use to do that. But I think what happens a lot of the times is that business owners, they hear all this jargon, they hear all these terms that they don't understand, and they think, oh my gosh, this is way beyond anything that I could ever do. So I just need to have someone else do it. And obviously we handle SEO for a lot of clients and that's what we love doing. But really when people work with us, we don't want it to be because they feel like it's above their heads and it's something that they can't possibly understand. We want them to do that because they know that, number one, will make it a lot easier for them. And also that we care and we really want to see every person that we work with get the results they want out of their campaign. And I really think that when business owners understand at least the fundamentals of SEO, whether you work with us or someone else or you do it in-house, you're really in a position of power rather than just sort of feeling overwhelmed and like you don't really have agency. You can choose better who you want to work with and really be able to vet, whether you choose to work with an agency or a freelancer or whatever you want to do. Having that understanding and knowing that, these are the principles and this is, just generally speaking, A, B, and C of what should happen. That really puts you in a much more confident position, however you want to approach your SEO, whether that's in-house or with someone else.
So the main thing is that they can do this themselves. It's not above them.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect. So thank you so much, you guys, for showing up here today and to enlighten and empower our small business audience. If you're tuning in today and you are a thought leader around a certain area of expertise when it comes to helping small business owners be more successful in a digital era, please reach out to us at techwithheartnetwork.com because we would love to interview you and have you share your insights with our small business owners. And if you are a small business owner and you want a warm but yet innovative and nurturing community to grow alongside, because we're not meant to be doing this all by ourselves, it's a good opportunity to go to techwithheartnetwork.com and join our community, show up for our free enlightenment and educational and networking events, and really start building collaborative partnerships and just building professional relationships so that you can lean on each other and then possibly even be shown who you can trust to help you take your business to the next level in any certain area. So again, go to techwithheartnetwork.com, check us out. We are a nonprofit organization here to assist and support and to guide and to nurture. So enlighten, empower, embrace. Those are the three things that Tech with Heart's here to do. So we encourage you to join us. Thank you so much for tuning in. And here is to your success.
Your story needs to be seen and heard, and your brand needs to be revealed. Revealio elevates purpose-driven businesses into the spotlight through video storytelling, augmented reality video marketing, and professional website design. Get discovered online or in the news. Be featured in national magazines or host your own TV, podcast, or live radio show. Together, we make your brand come alive. All it takes is Revealio. Visit Revealio.com to get started today. Minority and service disabled veteran owned.